1000 only. I created an account from scratch, and in each episode I complete a task of 1000 things. But you, the viewer, decide what my next task is going to be by voting on a poll which I release each video. Now pick your vote wisely, because the profit I make will be invested into better gear to prepare for the next episode. For a full list of the rules and restrictions, check out the description of the video. Are you ready? Let's begin! Good day my friends, my name is Vannaka and I welcome you to episode 18 of 1000 only, Quest Against Time. The amount of votes on 1000 minutes of questing completely destroyed the other options on the previous poll, and I think that is very interesting because it means you really want me to focus on quality of life upgrades on the account. So today is not the goal to do 1000 kills or skills, but to spend 1000 minutes on questing and try to be as efficient as possible to complete useful quests for our account. Now of course I'm not going to simply complete random quests on the quest list. I have an idea of what I would like to achieve. The goal is to focus on every single hard clue requirement, while at the same time knocking out quest points to complete Recipe for Disaster for Barrow's Gloves. I have created an insane list of quests I want to complete to make this possible, but the question is, can we do this within 1000 minutes? Alright, so to prepare for this journey there are a few things I wanted to do. First I bought items that may speed up the process, such as teleport jewelry and scrolls, stamina and combat potions, good food and much more. On top of that, I also bought every single item required for the quests I have on my list. Now I knew that this altogether was going to be quite expensive, but necessary to make as much progress as possible. Another thing was that in order to complete all these quests I have listed, I had to level up some skills first to meet the requirements. Of course I wanted to do this before the timer started, because otherwise it would be a big waste of time. I needed 57 fishing, 50 woodcutting, 52 mining, 70 cooking, 50 crafting, 52 thieving and 60% favor in the time per one eye cleanup minigame in order to meet all the requirements for my questing journey. During my woodcutting training I got a couple of bird nests, and I gotta say that I was quite lucky because I received a magic seed, dragon fruit seed and a hard clue scroll. Now of course these things have nothing to do with my questing grind, but I will sell them at the end of the episode. It is loot that is included. I also did some mining training on Fossil Island to level 52, and after that I trained my cooking to 70 with grapes, which is very easy to do and gives insane experience. Then I bought some uncut gems for 50 crafting and trained my thieving to 52 at fruit stalls. Now actually I need 53 thieving, but on the way I will complete some quests that give thieving XP, so I will get this level for free then. The last thing I had to do before starting the quest grind was time per one eye cleanup, and this is usually not a great minigame to play unless you get a gout tuber. These things have a very small chance to appear and they are worth over 600k. But you know, after just a few minutes of playing this minigame I actually received one, so that was completely insane. And I only needed 60% favor to move on, but I decided to go for 100% right away, and I'm so happy that I did this because I received another gout tuber at 87%. I guess it's my lucky day. But anyway, now that I had prepared everything I needed, it was finally time to quest against time. So let's begin! So I began my adventure with Gertrudes Cat, a very easy quest but smart to begin with because I knew that in the upcoming quests I needed to grow my own cat. So by doing this quest first I had time to do this while doing other quests, which saves time. It only took a few minutes, and after this I did the tourist trap. This is a quest requirement for Desert Treasure, one of the key quests I'm going to complete in this episode. I had already started it before because it's required for a clue, but I simply finished the quest and chose Agility XP as my reward. The next quest I wanted to do was the feud, which learns me how to use the blackjacking thieving method and also gives enough experience to get level 53 thieving. For this quest I even moved my house to Polnivnich to get to this location quicker, because of course I wanted to complete every quest as fast as possible. Temple of Ikov was the next quest I did, and one thing I always think is extremely funny when you do this quest is when you talk to the witch with the limpet roots in your inventory. I mean, think about it. I've never seen this witch before, and the first thing my character says is, "I've got you the limpet roots!" Like, how on earth could I know she needs those? But anyway, I moved on with the quest and killed Lucian to finish it. So I had now done 4 quests within exactly 1 hour, which is honestly not that bad, I think. I only needed one more quest in order to start Desert Treasure, and this is the Waterfall Quest. I remember that everyone rushed this quest on their accounts on the first day when old school RuneScape came out in 2013. Those were great times. So I started Desert Treasure on 15 hours and 23 minutes left, and I wanted to see how long it would take me to complete it. I've done this quest so many times in the past that it's really not that difficult for me anymore, especially since this is not an Iron Man account, so I could simply buy most of my gear and food. This, in combination with stamina potions, made the quest pretty quick and I killed all the bosses with ease, and then I moved on to the pyramid. Now the pyramid was quite annoying though, because I kept activating traps, and because of this it took a little longer. But in the end I finished it at 14 hours and 18 minutes left, which means I did the quest in 65 minutes only. Now, as you may know, there's sometimes a chance of a stranger attacking you during the quest because you have collected all the diamonds. Well, I already completed the quest and he even appeared after that. I have to be honest, it kinda scared me. He literally interrupted my bank interface for it. Alright, but we are not done in the desert yet, because next on the list is Itchlarins' Little Helper. And this quest is needed for some clue requirements and is a pre-quest for rat catchers, another quest on our list. The quest was not that hard, and with a stamina potion it was completed before I even realized it. Another quest I did was Mountain Daughter, and this quest only needs to be started in order to complete some medium and hard clue scrolls, but I simply decided to finish it because I need the quest points anyway. It's a pretty sad quest to be honest, but luckily it's just a video game. Quest number 9, Watchtower. Not my favorite quest, but it gives access to a hard clue scroll and unlocks Watchtower teleport, which is always welcome. And also the quest gives 4 quest points, so that's a good thing for Recipe for Disaster. With about 13 hours left on the clock, I decided to complete Fairy Tale Part 2, which I of course had already started to gain access to fairy rings. And something that I totally forgot about, but what is super useful, is that after this quest I can make my own fairy ring inside my house, but then I will still need to train some construction levels first, so that's gonna take a while. So after this I did another quick quest, the Elemental Workshop Part 1. It took me like 5 minutes and I also got my smithing up to level 51. My cat had finally grown up, and that means I can now do rat catchers, and this quest is by some people considered as one of the most annoying quests in the game because of the sneaking into the mansion part. I also made a few mistakes, but I completed this incredibly annoying part of the quest in about 15 minutes, so I think that is not too bad. And then I watched my cat battle the king rat, which he won really easily actually. I needed to give my cat only 1 piece of food, what a beast! So, after playing the flute and leading the rats into the water, I completed the quest and also got another hard clue requirement out of the way. Quest number 13 is In Search of the Myreque, and I usually don't like quests in Mauritania, but they are so important for the future when we want to do barrows for example, or enter the Myreque city. So I completed the quest quickly, and after that I directly continued with the follow-up quest In Aid of the Myreque. This quest took a bit longer, but was very important to complete because it's good for many reasons. Once I get the Hard Mauritania diaries done in the future, I will have access to an unlimited teleport to this town, which is great. Oh, and by the way, I've now also unlocked the temple tracking minigame, and who knows, I could ever do a loot from 1000 temple tracks. Or I just link a video to Swampletics, might be easier. With about 11 hours left, I did the Holy Grail, which is needed for King's Ransom. It's a pretty quick and easy quest and gave me a nice prayer bonus to level 50. So you may be wondering why I needed to get time for one eye cleanup favor earlier in the video, but it was because of the quest My Arm's Big Adventure. This quest is super useful because it unlocks a disease-free herb patch, so that is going to be nice when I will plant 1000 Rennar seeds in the future. I can't wait for it. I also defeated the boss quite easily by just standing in a corner and ranging from there, because then he cannot stun you, and then I completed the quest. At this point I was ready to start focusing on a big quest again. I wanted to do Mournings End Part 2, but for this quest I needed some prerequisites, so I started with Sheep Herder. Many people have traumas about the sheep running away after prodding them, but hey, I did it in 8 minutes. Nice. The next quest on the list, Roving Elves. And this gives me access to the crystal bow and shield, and that is quite interesting. It's a quick quest and my stats were good enough to punch a Moss Guardian to death, so everything was all good. At the end of the quest I chose to go with the shield, and to be honest I don't really have an idea of why, but I just felt like choosing it, so why not? When I completed Roving Elves, I immediately started working on Mournings End Part 1. The quest guide says that this quest takes extremely long, but to be honest, I thought it wasn't that bad. I did the quest in 30 minutes, so that was not a problem at all. Now luckily I didn't miss the sheep with my cannon, because otherwise it would have taken a bit longer probably, but it didn't happen, so lucky me. But now, it is time to do one of the most annoying quests in the entire game according to many players. Mournings End Part 2, the quest that requires a master brain or a great guide on the internet. I used the old school RuneScape wiki to lead me through it, and it really helped me out. Sometimes it was a bit overwhelming seeing all those maps with mirrors on them, where to put them and in which order, but eventually I started to get the hang of it. I looked myself into the mirror, pun intended, and I made it to the end without banking once. But I was completely out of food and prayers, so I was really lucky there, I must say. So thanks to completing this quest, I now have the song La Mort unlocked, which is a heart clue requirement. And I've now also done all pre-quests for Song of the Elves, but I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. So now that we got this hard quest out of the way, it was time to do something easy again. Creature of Fenkenstrain, a quest I had already started before, was needed in order to complete the Garden of Tranquility quest. So I quickly did this one and moved on. The Garden of Tranquility quest is a quest that can really suck if you are unlucky and involves a lot of waiting for crops to grow, so I tried to be smart during this quest. So while I was waiting for all these farming patches, I decided to complete Cook's Assistant, Goblin Diplomacy, Imp Catcher and Fishing Contest. These quests were all quick and easy and also helped me to get more quest points so I can get ready for Recipe for Disaster. And after doing all that, I returned to complete the Garden of Tranquility quest. With 7 hours left on the clock, I decided to complete another tedious quest, One Small Favour. In this quest you see almost the entire planet, but I was lucky to have many teleport options available. It still took me like 50 minutes to complete though. When I completed the quest I used my XP lamps on Slayer and this got me very close to level 61 already. And then I did the Swan Song quest and honestly I loved this one. Following the wise old man on all his adventures was just so much fun and whoa, this guy is powerful. At the end of the quest I had to kill the Sea Troll Queen and at first it kept draining my prayer, but that was because I wasn't standing next to it. Later I realized that and moved a step forward and then it was a lot easier. Well, it's almost Christmas, so it was a great time to do the Troll Romance quest. Jingle all the way! This quest was really quick and easy, but was just needed for a clue requirement. I simply safe spotted the troll named Arg and completed the quest. Quest number 30, my friends. 30, and that in only 11 hours with about 5 hours left. I needed to do Shield of Arav in order to complete the Heroes quest, and for this I used my alt account Myreque to complete the quest. So once that was done, I started the Heroes quest, which is pretty easy, but the only problem is that once again, I needed someone to help me during the quest. But luckily there is a clan chat for this specific task, so I joined it and found a partner relatively quick. So I collected all the items and brought them back to Ashiatis, if that's the way to pronounce it, to finish the quest, Heroes quest. Now by completing the Heroes quest, I was now also able to do the Family Crest, which gives access to steel gauntlets and that can be very useful in the future. They can be turned into chaos, cooking or goldsmithing gauntlets and I cannot wait to use those. So after doing all this, it was time for another master quest, which is the Legends quest. I'm happy that I had prepared everything so well because the quest was not too hard that way. Now of course there was still a lot of running back and forth in the jungle and the cave, but thanks to my stamina potions this was no problem at all. Also during the quest I collected a vanilla pot which is later needed for Recipe for Disaster, so that is 2 birds with 1 stone. So after defeating the demon and its minions several times, I finally had obtained the Gilded Totem and delivered this to Redimus. I once again used all my experience on agility, so I only needed 10,000 more XP in order to get level 70, which is a huge milestone. Alright, so that was another master quest down, but I had 3 more hours left and still had to do many quests before being able to complete Recipe for Disaster, but I simply kept going because you never know. I decided to do some easy and quick quests, such as for example Witch's House, Murder Mystery, Black Knight's Fortress, King's Ransom, and Dwarf Cannon. Then I did 2 more quests which are a bit more difficult but are very beneficial to have completed. I first did the Haunted Mine to unlock the Salve Amulet. And after that I did Ghosts Ahoy to obtain the Actophile, but not only that is useful, but these 2 quests are also needed for the Hard Mauritania Diaries, which is useful for Barrows in the future. Holy shit. My friends, I had literally done 40 quests in almost 15 hours, and every single requirement for Recipe for Disaster was completed with 2 more hours left. So I simply went for it. First I helped the cook, then the dwarf, the goblins, the pirate, the Lumbridge guide, Evil Dave, the ogre, the monkey, and finally the knight. And after all that, I had 30 minutes left and I needed to do only one more thing, defeat the Culinaromancer. Now to be honest, this fight wasn't even that hard because I was simply able to leave after each battle and get new food for the next one. In the end, I managed to defeat the Culinaromancer with 15 more minutes on the clock, and that is actually insane if you think about it. I completed Recipe for Disaster and obtained the Barrow's gloves. I am so incredibly happy. But let's be honest guys, I was thinking, I still had 15 minutes left. I mean, since this is a questing episode, why not continue? So I just did this. So with the remaining minutes, I completed the Spirits of the Elid quest, which is an elite clue requirement, and after that I also did Tears of Guthix, which only takes like 2 minutes, but it's definitely worth completing. So in the end, I completed 43 quests in 1000 minutes and I couldn't be more satisfied. So, what a great adventure this was, but even though we lost a lot of money in this episode, I also collected some items during this grind. In total, this has a value of 1.7 mil, which is of course a lot, but most of this comes from the Goutubers and the high level seeds. But still, let's go to the GE and sell everything. So we ended up with 1.7 mil and 24k, but we have also completed 2 clue scrolls which we got from skilling. In total we got 1.8 mil in this episode, and that is very welcome if you think about all the investments we had to make at the beginning. Stat-wise, my account gained many levels in this episode. We trained our strength to 71, prayer to 52, magic to 66, runecrafting to 27, agility to 70, thieving to 55, crafting to 51, fletching to 38, slayer to 61, mining to 52, smithing to 51, fishing to 57, cooking to 70, and woodcutting to 51. Our combat level is still 88, but whoa, so much progress. And now it's time, like in every episode, to talk about the next poll. In today's poll you may vote for 1000 hellhounds in the wilderness, 1000 mutated bloodvelds, or 1000 undead druids. If we choose to kill hellhounds in the wilderness, the chance of obtaining a hard clue is 1 in 32. I expect us to get over 30 hard clue scroll caskets by the end of the episode. However, hellhounds have no other drops except the smoldering stone, which is a 1 in 16k drop. If we choose to kill mutated bloodvelds, we will get less hard clue scrolls, I think on average about 8, but we can get totem pieces to kill Scotizo, and mutated bloodvelds have a lot of health, making them great to train on. If we choose to kill undead druids, we will get about 10 hard clue scrolls and make a lot of money with regular drops as well. With the help of our Salve Amulet and Herb Sack, this should be a relatively simple task. If you want to vote, this is very easy to do. Simply click on the link in the description and pick your favorite option. It takes like 10 seconds. And if you do vote, then please also consider subscribing to the channel so you can vote every week and follow my 1000 only journey. We have now come to an end of this insane episode, and I must say that I'm very happy that we did this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.